Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. In this video, I'm going to talk about my personal journey from being an infantry officer in the Army to being an area manager at a warehouse and then starting my bookkeeping business and where I am today. If you are joining live on YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. And once I go through my notes, I'm going to do my best to answer everybody's questions. So I'm going to be going live for about 30 minutes. I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you're listening to my podcast on Apple or Spotify and you want to watch the video, check out my YouTube channel. It's the exact same name, Bookkeeping Expert, Zach Pascarello. And if you're watching the replay of this video, consider joining live. Like I said, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 a.m. for the foreseeable future. As long as I possibly can, I'm going to continue going live. We'll see how long I can keep it up. Okay, let's talk about my personal journey. So I teach a lot of people how to start their own bookkeeping business. So a lot of my videos are specifically designed to teach you very strategically tips and tricks and strategy how to grow your bookkeeping business. But instead, I'm just going to talk about my personal journey. I don't know, maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe bits and pieces of my journey might resonate with you, or who knows, maybe there's an Army infantry officer or a warehouse manager watching this video right now, and maybe, just maybe, I can inspire you to take the leap and start your own business. So let's go all the way back to 2015. I just graduated from college. I went to Lehigh University and I got my major in psychology. I started with engineering because I loved math. I was really good at math in high school, so I figured, well, why not just study engineering in college? But that was really hard, and I'll be totally honest with you, I was not ready. I was not mature enough to go to college right after high school. So I'm probably the kind of person who should have joined the military right after high school, got some life experience, matured a little bit, and then go back to college, but that's okay. I did it the other way around. So I went to college, switched my major from engineering to psychology. By the grace of God, I graduated on time, not without going back to summer school for a couple of years. And then I joined the Army. I spent 4 years down in Georgia at Fort Benning and Fort Stewart. I was an infantry officer. So I went to basic training and then officer candidate school and then infantry basic officer leadership course. And then I went to Fort Stewart and I was a Bradley platoon leader for 3 years at Fort Stewart. And then we had our son born in 2018, and I decided to get out of the Army and move back closer to home so that we could start a family and raise our kids. So 2019, got out of the Army and moved back home, and I got a job working at Chewy.com. There's a warehouse here in South Central Pennsylvania, and I was an area manager. It was a perfect correlation between platoon leader in the Army. I was managing 40 soldiers, warehouse area manager. Perfect job for me. I was not the perfect job for me, perfect job for an Army infantry officer because I went from managing 40 soldiers to managing 40 warehouse workers. It was a really good job. Not a great job for me. I did not love it. I was making 70-ish thousand dollars in the Army as an infantry officer, as a first lieutenant, and then I got a job making $70,000 at the warehouse, and I thought that was amazing. It was. It was a really good job. And I was happy for a little while, and then about a year later, I actually ended up moving to Amazon. And here was a big career change. I got a $30,000 promotion to go work at Amazon. After working at Chewy for a year as an area manager, went to Amazon to do the exact same thing, got a $30,000 pay raise. So this was huge. For the very first time in 2020, I was making $100,000 as an area manager at an Amazon warehouse here in South Central Pennsylvania. I accomplished my dreams. For the longest time, I thought, man, if I could just make $100,000 per year, I would be set. That's all I need, and then I will consider myself to be successful. But like I said, really great job, really, really amazing job. Not a great job for me. So around that time, I decided to go back to college, and I was able to use my military benefits to go back to school for free. And I just decided to take one class at a time, and it was Intro to Accounting. In the fall of 2020, I decided to go back to school, Penn State, online, and I took one class, Intro to Accounting, because I learned that accounting was the language of business, and I wanted to start a business. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I thought I wanted to start a business. So I thought, huh, Why not study accounting, learn the language of business, learn some basics and fundamentals, and then who knows? Maybe shortly after that, I could start my own business. Well, what do you know? A couple months later, I totally fell in love with accounting. I fell in love with debits and credits and assets and liabilities and balance sheet and income statement. Totally fell in love with accounting. And so I decided to start working immediately as an accountant. So I looked into it. I was like, how can I start working as an accountant right away? I wanted to be a staff accountant. I would have quit my warehouse job on the spot if I knew I could get a decent paying job as a staff accountant, but nobody would hire me because I didn't have experience. I didn't have a college degree in accounting. I didn't have any work experience. Nobody would hire me as a staff accountant. So I did some more research and I was like, okay, maybe I could become a bookkeeper with no experience, no certifications, no college degree. That's kind of cool. Did some more research, start my own bookkeeping business. That's what I did. October of 2020, I made the jump. I decided to start my own bookkeeping business. I got a website. I started talking about it on LinkedIn, started talking about it on Facebook, started really talking about it in November. And then I got my very first client in December. 2 months after I decided to start my bookkeeping business, I got my very first client in December. And then January, things really picked up. There's a local restaurant, and I'm actually friends with the owner on Facebook. He might actually even see me talking about this, but he hired me to do a 2.5 year cleanup. I think it was either a year and a half or 2.5 years. I don't remember now, but it was like a $9,000 cleanup project. This was one of my very first big cleanup projects. And I think I got it in around January, maybe February. $9,000. And then I got a couple other clients. I got an auto mechanic in South Central PA who's actually still one of my bookkeeping clients. He was one of my first clients. And then I got another online education company as a bookkeeping client. I got a couple other clients, and I was making $3,000 or $4,000 per month. And I got this big $9,000 cleanup project. And then in March of 2021, I decided to quit working at Amazon, quit my $100,000 salary, quit working at Amazon, and go all in on my bookkeeping business. And then the rest is history. I've been running Harrisburg Bookkeeping ever since. Now I've got 70 bookkeeping clients. Last year, at the peak, I had about 88 bookkeeping clients. I'm not taking on any new bookkeeping clients now, but I am still managing my 70 clients at Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I started specializing in bookkeeping for real estate investors, and then I learned about private money lending. And then I started to do real estate lending with some of the extra cash that I had saved up for my bookkeeping business. So 2023, I did my very first real estate private money loan. I thought I wanted to buy rentals, maybe flip houses. That wasn't for me. But instead, I've leveraged my accounting and bookkeeping and finance experience and knowledge and tax understanding to underwrite borrowers and to find borrowers and then to lend money. So I had $50,000 saved up for my bookkeeping business. So I did my first real estate private money loan in 2023. And then I did more in 2024. And then I ran out of money. And so I started bringing on investors. And that's when I started Zip Capital in 2025. And that is what I'm going all in on right now. I'm not growing Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I'm just maintaining. And now instead, I'm growing Zip Capital. That is 100% my focus. I raise money from outside investors. People can invest into Zip Capital, and then I can take other people's money and lend it to real estate investors. So I pay my investors 8 to 12% fixed returns. I charge my borrowers 12% annual interest plus origination fee, processing fee, underwriting fee. That's what I'm going all in on. And it's pretty crazy when I look back and think psychology major from Lehigh University, Army basic training, infantry officer, Chewy.com, warehouse worker making $70,000 per year, which don't get me wrong, that is a really great salary. Nothing wrong with that. And then I went to Amazon, $100,000. I was working night shift, hated it. Great job, not great job for me. Started my bookkeeping business. And then I made $60,000 my first year as an entrepreneur, as a bookkeeper. And then things just took off from there. So pretty crazy to think from 2015 to 2025, here we are. I didn't even know what real estate private money lending was. I didn't even know what bookkeeping was 7 years ago. And so here we are. So I made this video hopefully to share some insight on where I come from and what I've done, but also who knows, maybe I could motivate and inspire somebody else out there who's currently working a job and not loving their current job. maybe I could motivate you and inspire you to take that leap of faith and start that business. You might not make as much money in the first year of your business as you did at your previous job, but year two, year three, year four, you never know what you might be able to do. And I always say, if you're working a job right now and you don't like it and you want to start a business, the absolute worst thing that would happen is that you try, 6 months go by, you fail, and you go back and get a job. Chances are, if you have a job right now, I would probably be willing to bet there's a good chance that you would also be able to get that job again or something similar in 6 months. So, really, I don't think you have a whole lot to lose by going out and giving it a shot, trying to start your business. Okay, that's it. That's my story. That's my journey for the past 10 years. Now, if you're watching live on YouTube, let's get to the questions. Feel free to ask me questions. It can be about anything. It can be about bookkeeping, QuickBooks, starting a business, growing your business, customer service, sales, marketing, cleanup projects, taxes, whatever questions you might have. I'm going to stick around for like 10, 15 more minutes, and I will just do my best to answer everybody's questions. All right. Chili Davids. Hey, Zach, a client is paying off a loan that she set as automatic, but she says she doesn't receive any statements for it. Is there a way to categorize this in QuickBooks from the bank feed? So if it's a loan payment, you should have a liability in the chart of accounts. So whenever you're moving money from the bank account to the loan, it should just simply be a transfer from the bank account to the liability account. And then you want to split the interest and principal because every month you're going to pay off your loan, but it's not all going to go towards the liability. Part of it goes towards interest and part of it goes towards principal. So you need to figure out, or the bank or whoever is holding the loan, 99% sure they should have some information. If they don't have monthly loan statements, at the very least, they should give you an annual report of how much interest you paid that year and then what is the outstanding principal balance of that loan at the end of the year. Patricia, good morning, Zach. I passed my QuickBooks level 1. Congratulations. That's very exciting. Should I do level 2? I don't have level 2. If you want to get it, you can. If you have some extra time, it's not going to hurt by getting level 2, but I don't have level 2. Just my own personal experience and preference. I would do both. I see your second question. Should you start doing your own bookkeeping for practice? Do both. If you have time, you might as well do both. The cool thing about getting the level 2 certification is that it's one and done. So once you get it, you have it for the rest of the year. You will likely have to recertify in the summertime, but it could help. It definitely could help, especially if you have very limited experience prior to starting your bookkeeping business, then yes, I definitely recommend get the level 2. It's not going to hurt. It'll just give you one extra talking piece during your sales consultation. But yeah, I think you should do both. Get your level 2 and start doing your own bookkeeping for practice. Next question. What order would you do the following if you were starting your bookkeeping business all over again? Wondering if you need a website or to be a registered LLC prior to gaining your first client? I would just do it all right away in the beginning. Get registered with your state. It'll take 2 weeks for the paperwork to process before Christmas. I would imagine you will have your LLC registered with your state. It might cost you a couple $100. I know in Pennsylvania, it's actually free for veterans to register as an LLC. Definitely recommend register as an LLC. Do it right in the beginning, and then get your website set up. Go to Squarespace, go to Google, buy a domain, and then just get a very basic website set up. If you need inspiration, check out my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com. It's not a great website. It's just a Squarespace template. I think I did almost all of it by myself. Maybe my wife helped me with harrisburgbookkeeping.com. You can do it yourself, or you can spend a couple $100 and maybe get somebody overseas to help you with your website, or you can spend a couple $1,000 and get somebody local to help you with your website. But definitely recommend Google My Business Profile, website, LLC registered with the state, and then, of course, a business bank account. Next question. Hey, Zach, I just got my first client 2 weeks ago, but he unfortunately passed away. Very sorry to hear that. So sorry. I hadn't finished his cleanup yet. What should I do? That's crazy. I've never encountered a situation like that. I would probably just hold off and just kind of wait to see what ends up happening with his business. Very sorry to hear that. Yeah, I would just wait. Just probably stop doing all the work and maybe just wait until their attorney reaches out to you, or just kind of wait and see what happens. But that's a very unfortunate situation. So sorry that he passed away. Hi, Zach. How do you handle the sales tax in QBO? So that's a good question. There's a couple different things we're talking about here. Are you talking about filing sales tax, or are you talking about recording sales tax? It all depends. So if you are using QuickBooks to create your invoices and sales receipts, if you're tracking sales tax in QuickBooks, there should be a little box down in the bottom right hand corner where you can say, like, are you collecting sales tax, yes or no? Check this box next to the line item in the products or services of the invoice or the sales receipt. If you check that box saying yes, collect sales tax for this product or service, then it should calculate the sales tax automatically in the bottom right hand corner of the invoice or the sales receipt. And then as the clients pay your invoices, and you collect payment on your sales receipts, there's a sales tax center in QuickBooks that's going to have all the sales tax collected, and then you're going to have to log into your state Department of Revenue website to file your sales tax. I don't like to do sales tax for my clients. It gets kind of messy. It's kind of complicated. That's actually really not too complicated. It's complicated if you don't know how to do it, but once you figure out how to do it, it's really not that hard. But if I were you, if I were getting started all over again, I would stay away from sales tax, and I would just tell my clients, hey, just ask your tax accountant or your CPA to file your sales tax for you. Next question, inventory. How do I account for COGS if I'm tracking inventory outside of QBO? Do a very simple journal entry. So check the balance sheet as of November 30th and check to see what do you have on hand on your balance sheet in inventory. Let's say you've got $10,000 in QuickBooks on hand inventory. And then check your actual inventory count outside of QuickBooks. What do you actually have on hand in inventory outside of QuickBooks? Let's say in this example, $9,000. So your books are showing 10, actual on hand is 9. There's $1,000 difference. You have to account for that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to debit COGS and credit inventory on November 30th. Do a journal entry. November 30th, 25-11 inventory would be the name of the journal entry. Debit COGS, credit inventory for $1,000. Now we are increasing COGS and decreasing inventory to true up our inventory in the books and inventory on hand. Now it matches. Next question. What is the best way to market for customers when you are brand new and just starting a bookkeeping business? There is no best way. There is no best way to do marketing and advertising. What I did is I just simply started creating free social media marketing content. You can have a website optimized for SEO. You can have a blog on your website. You can go to in-person networking events, BNI. You can do cold calling. You can do free social media marketing on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. You can create videos on YouTube. You can create short videos and reels on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok. You can send out mailers and flyers. You can go face to face and you can knock on doors and you can stop by businesses and try to solicit business that way. There is no best way to do sales and marketing. There's only a way that you are able to do consistently and commit to a long-term period. That's the best advice that I can give you. Find something that you can realistically do every day for the next 90 days, and then just do that. So set a goal. Maybe it's I'm just going to create one Facebook post every day for the next 30 days. That's it. One Facebook post, sharing your story, promoting your business, trying to run engagement and to gain followers. Post one time on Facebook every day. Or maybe it's write a blog twice a week. Write one blog on your website twice a week for the next 6 weeks and then see what happens. It doesn't matter what you do. It just matters that you do something and that you commit to doing something consistently for a long period of time. So what I did, I never paid for ads. Everything I did was free organic social media marketing. Just like this video right here. Right here, I am advertising and promoting my investment fund, Zip Capital. It's a little bit unorthodox by making these YouTube videos kind of about bookkeeping, but kind of trying to promote Zip Capital. A little bit unorthodox, But this is advertising and promotion. So do something like what I'm doing. Like I create social media content. I make short videos on Facebook and Instagram. I do a picture post. Like this morning, I posted a silly picture of me eating sushi. And then I talked about how I got a Zip Capital investor yesterday for $50,000. Like that is advertising and promotion. That's marketing for my investment fund, Zip Capital. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You just got to do something consistently, commit to something for a long time. Doesn't matter what you do, just do something. Zach, I'm excited but nervous to actually get a client. I should be more confident, but I'm so nervous that I'll mess something up. So here's the thing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up things in your client's books. It's going to happen. We are all human. We all make mistakes. The only thing that you can do is learn from your mistakes and don't make the same mistake twice. If you make a mistake, if you do something wrong, that's just going to happen. Like there's nothing, you can't avoid that. If you go through life never making any mistakes, that doesn't mean you're perfect. That just means that you never tried to do anything new or you never went outside your comfort zone. So I don't know about you, but pretty much every entrepreneur is taking a risk. Every entrepreneur that I know took a risk and bet on themselves and tried something new. So you're going to there's no secret way to get over imposter syndrome other than try your best, do your best, genuinely try to learn every day. Be honest, have integrity, tell the truth, and try to get better every day. If you seriously do that, then imposter syndrome, in my opinion, goes away. Like if you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of every day and be like, you know what, Zach, I think you actually tried to do your best today. Then that's all that matters. If you go through thinking like, geez, I could have done more. I could have done better. I made that mistake and I knew I was making a mistake, but I just wanted to hurry up and get through it anyway. Then that's not a good way to start anything. That's not a good way to start a business. You got to have integrity, especially working, doing bookkeeping, finances, taxes. They're very personal, intimate services. So you have to have integrity. You have to tell the truth. You have to be honest, and you have to genuinely try to do your best and genuinely try to get better and continue your education every day. As long as you do all that stuff, I'm pretty confident that imposter syndrome goes away. So really don't worry about it. Just don't worry about imposter syndrome. Focus on being honest and getting better every day. Hi, Zach. My client is sending me Square daily reports. Do you record daily sales? Can we do it weekly or monthly? I would do it weekly. I would do it monthly. I would probably ask the client to stop sending me daily sales reports, and I would probably tell the client like, "Hey, I can make an adjustment at the end of the month for Square or Stripe sales." And really, the only adjustment that you're going to make is you're going to account for processing fees. So, for example, if I sell something for $1,000 and I might get deposited into my bank account $970. So it looks like I only made $970, but in reality, I made $1,000. That's because there's a $30 Stripe or Square fee for processing credit cards. So what you have to do at the end of the year, at the end of the month, you're going to get the report. And it's going to say $1,000 of income, $30,000 of processing fees. And so in your books, you've got the 970 of income. Now you need to account for the 30 of processing fees. So you're going to debit Stripe fees, debit Square fees for $30, and then credit sales for $30. And now it looks like 1,000 sales, 30 processing fees, 970 left over. So I would not do a journal entry daily. I would do it monthly. Next question. Hi, Zach. I recently had someone reach out to me via Facebook Messenger, and he immediately called me once I responded. We talked a little, and he was mostly concerned about price after I gave him one. Okay, so anytime somebody is concerned with price, this just opens the door for negotiation. So if they don't like the price that you gave them, this is a perfect opportunity to say, okay, I hear you. What price were you hoping for? What is your budget? If $900 is too much, what were you hoping for? If they tell you, well, geez, you quoted me 900, I was hoping for 300, there's probably no room for negotiation. But if you say 900 and they say 500, okay, how about we try 750 for the first 3 months and see how it goes? Or how about, open for negotiation? If they don't like the price, don't give up right there. negotiate. Ask them, what is your budget? What price works for you? Can we meet in the middle? Let's see. Next question. Brian. Zach, thanks for all you do. Really appreciate it. Credit cards that close mid month, do you usually reconcile those as they come available? I reconcile those, yes, as they come available. Most credit cards, some close on the 6th, some 10th, some 14th, some 22nd. Yeah, credit cards are closing all throughout the month. I just reconcile them as the credit card statement comes out. Did you have any difficulty getting approved by Google My Business if your business location was listed as your home address? Yes, it is very hard. And let me just show you what I had to do to get approved. Okay, so I had to, one, you have to go outside. You have to make a video. So you have to go outside and you have to show your street address. Make sure it lines up with your business address. And then you have to go into your home and then you have to show them your home office. And so here I am in my home office. So like I'm recording a video. So I go down to my street, I show my mailbox, I show my address, and then I walk into my home, I go to my home office, and then you have to have a business asset. You have to have a business asset. And so here I made a business card with my address and my name and my business name on it. This is what they needed to see. I tried to submit LLC documents. I tried to submit a bank verification letter with my name and my business name on it. They didn't want to see. They didn't accept that. They actually rejected my Google My Business profile application because I did not have any business assets. So very simply, I went to Vistaprint, spent like $10, got very basic business cards, and then I included the business card in the verification video, and then immediately, same day, they approved my request. Crazy that they didn't accept LLC registration documents. Crazy they wouldn't accept my bank document. Instead, they accepted this because literally anybody could have made this and put their name on it. Absolutely blows my mind. But that's what they needed to register my Google My Business for at my home office. And it worked. It was really simple. Once I got the business card, it was really, really simple to do it. Thank you so much for the inventory COGS answer. Exactly what I wanted to hear. You are penciled into my daily calendar now at 10 a.m. God bless. Thank you so much. Hey, truthfully, I'm making these videos. We got like close to 60 people watching live on YouTube right now. I make these videos every day for two reasons. One, because of course I'm promoting Zip Capital. Obviously, I do have an agenda. But also, number two, I genuinely enjoy talking about this stuff. Like, I like making these videos. I like talking about my bookkeeping business. I like helping you start and grow your own bookkeeping business. And if you haven't already, definitely recommend follow me on social media. I have all my social media channels linked down below: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. And I post more short form content on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So if you like these videos, I think you'll probably like my short videos as well on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Check them out. Okay, we have a couple questions here and then I got to go. If you were brand new, what did you speak about or provide as a new bookkeeper on social media? Whenever you're brand new, talk about two things. Talk about your personal journey. This is so people love a new entrepreneur. This is exciting right now. Talk about, hey, I just became a QuickBooks certified pro advisor. I just enrolled at my local community college, taking intro to accounting. I just got here's my first accounting book. I just got a little book on Amazon, Bookkeeping for Dummies. I don't know. Talk about your journey. I just got my website. Here's my website. Everybody check this out. I just got new business cards. Everybody, how exciting is this? I'm going to my first networking event as a self-employed bookkeeper. How exciting. Talk about being brand new. Talk about your journey. People love it. People love a new business owner. That'll get a ton of engagement and it'll spread awareness. But then also, you want to establish yourself as a bookkeeping expert. You want to build credibility with the people who follow you on social media. So talk about bookkeeping tips. Hey, remember, all of your independent contractors might need a 1099 at the end of the year come January. So make sure you're getting a W-9 for all your contractors. Hey, QuickBooks Online costs $50 for a subscription. It'll really help you organize your finances. These are ideas of what you can talk about, what you can post about on social media. So just be authentic, be genuine, be yourself, share some personal stuff, but also share some business stuff. It's all about relationships. Getting bookkeeping clients, all about building trust and relationships with total strangers on the internet, which can be kind of hard, but it's also kind of easy if you just be yourself, be authentic and be genuine, and it's going to happen. Trust me. Last question. Google My Business. What if you have a different business address versus mailing address? That is going to be tricky. I don't know what to do with that. So for me, I just set up my business address and it's all the same for me. I think that's probably the best way to set up your business as your home address. But if you used a different address, unfortunately, I don't know what to do with that. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. That's it for the video, everybody. Thank you so much. Seriously, if you want to invest in Zip Capital, the minimum is $25,000 and you need to be an accredited investor. But if you have any questions, if you want to chat, there's a link down below to my website, zipcapitalfund.com. You can register on my website and I will call you same day and we can chat about you investing in Zip Capital. I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns to investors in my fund. Thank you all so much. God bless you. I hope you have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m.